Hello, welcome to Point One Studio. Today I'm going to show how we can synchronize multiple Revit domain model from main coordination model, specifically for the levels, because the shared grid and levels are important information. And if you have, let's say, more than 5 or 6 domain models for main project, if any time if major coordination module change the level name, then it's a bit time consuming to change all the other domain models levels. So here with a simple script from Rhino.Inside, we can export main coordination models level names to Excel datasheet, and we can import the exported Excel data into the each domain models to update the level names. Then let's get started. So here I have the main coordination model. At the moment it's a civil model, and let's imagine we have many linked model which representing different disciplines: architectural model, and we have structural model, fire protection, and interior, MEP, and etc. So imagine if we have to change one of the name here to synchronize all the other linked models, the level name, then it's kind of time consuming. So for instance, here the main module has now the current elevation info and the name, and here one of the MEP model, linked MEP model, which has different naming structure. So in MEP model, the Korean language letters at the front, and then the English naming structure is behind. But we have the main module here, the abbreviation of the naming convention with English letter, and we have now Korean letters are behind. So what I'll do, I'm going to open Grasshopper, and here in the script, as you can see, we can extract. First step is extracting all the level from Revit into Rhino.Inside, and this information will export to Excel file. We're using here the Launchbox plugin for Grasshopper, which works for Rhino.Inside, and we will use standard Rhino.Inside component. So the work step is that you have to open the any Excel file that we can use, because this Excel write legacy component for Launchbox requires the one of the Excel file need to be opened. And here we have query level component, which is on the Revit, sorry, and on the model we have query levels. So what it does, we basically querying the elevations of the level and the naming of the levels, and we get the total 44 data from current open Revit file, and we will filter the elevation and the level name by using get element parameter component, which located it on the Revit. On the element, we can have get element parameter. So I'm going to use elevations and name for the key parameter that I can get the values out of the current open Revit model. And this elevation and the name of levels, we can I'm gonna shoot now. We can write in our Excel file here by clicking the button. Then, sorry, it should work. Then we have here all updated. We extract the height, the elevation of the levels, and all the level names from the main Revit module. So, which is good. Now, the second step is we can open now I'm gonna freeze this one, and save the file. We can open the second domain model in new Revit file, and then we could import the opened Excel datasheet by using the again Lunchbox Excel Reader legacy component, and we can basically shoot these elevation and level name to the other domain model. So now I just open the MEP model, MEP model that I would like to synchronize the level name. So let me change the scale of the level here a bit so that we can obviously see the name correctly. So as you can see here, we have first Korean letter naming structure, and then we have English letters. But now we're going to synchronize the file from the main coordination module. So here I'm going to use this opened Excel file, and we're gonna read the names correctly. So once we get the data, here we have three branches that we have. First three branches is showing the elevation of the dataset, and we have the level names as a second branch. So obviously we have only two branches right now, so I'm just gonna explore the tree. And then we have first elevation string, and we have level names. And the string name is a string, so we have to convert to number. So I'm just gonna insert this to the number container, and I'm going to now enable the Grasshopper components from RhinoInside. And it's already actualizing the level name. So let's have a look. I'm going to, of course, rename all corresponding views in floor plan. So I'm going to say yes, and all the names changed. But the problem was, yeah, it's funny because the MEP model we use right now, the project unit as a millimeter, but our main coordination model was in meter. So that's the reason why all these levels, they came to somehow this in millimeter information, which is not good. So let me go to Grasshopper again, open. I'm going to okay, actually the data has to be dimmed somehow. Yeah, I'm just gonna disable this, and let's go back. It's a bit bad, sorry, it's my bad. I'm going to open again this file, and let's change the unit first from MEP model, and we will synchronize the levels. So it's my bad, and I'm just gonna quickly open the project. Yes. Before we actualize the levels, let's unify the unit of the project, because otherwise all the levels going to move completely move to the millimeter unit, and it will maybe give us huge confusion. So let me change the scale again to 1 to 25, so you can obviously see the level name correctly. Now let's go. Here I'm going to change the unit from millimeter to meter. I'm going to make this 3 decimal. Yep, decimal. And now we have the meter unit for this project in MEP model. I'm going to open RhinoInside on the add-ins. And we have here Grasshopper we can open. Okay, now current, because I let me check the Rhino, because we previously opened RhinoInside, and RhinoInside still remember the memory of the project. So here I also have to check the unit from Rhino, because Grasshopper basically inherit the unit from Rhino. So I'm going to change to meter. Yeah, that's fine. And unit display, I will make it higher. So let me see now if I draw line 0 to 1 meter. Zoom selected. So this obviously this distance now has to be 1 meter from here to there. Yes, it's 1 meter. Then let me go back to Grasshopper. It's a bit confusion, but when you come up to the Grasshopper, now the Grasshopper unit must follow the Revit and Rhino's unit. So I'm just gonna recompute, and now let's go open the Grasshopper again, and here I'm going to read currently opened Excel file. We split the data structure to between level and the level elevation and the name. Here I'm going to now actualize the level again with the Grasshopper component. Yes, I'm going to change all corresponding level view. So now, as you can see, all the level names updated according to the main coordination model. So I think this workflow is quite useful. Of course, there is something we have to be always careful between the different unit of the project, but I think that anyway, BIM coordinators or BIM managers of each company strictly trained for this sensitive information. So now I think that workflow was quite clear enough to use main coordination models levels to synchronize the other domain models by using RhinoInside and Excel. I hope this was somehow helpful. So perhaps now I can, if the MEP engineers now need to use units in millimeter in Revit, we can just make our project unit back to millimeter. Then there shouldn't be any issue. So if you look at now the elevation, it still shows here in millimeter, but the information is correct. So I think that's it for today. And yeah, RhinoInside opens a lot of possibilities. Of course, this workflow you can also do with Autodesk Dynamo BIM. But since Rhino will be inside of Revit, I found it's interesting workflow to develop this sort of workflow, which will enhance coordination between design software and BIM software. Thank you very much. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, which it will help me a lot to sponsor me. So I wish you have a nice week. Bye bye. Thank you.